Hello all, welcome to day 4 of the PSIR probables for IR 2025. So as we told, we'll be discussing two questions which are probable questions that can come in this year's exam. So myself, Nikhil Gowda, the political science and international relations faculty from Insights. So let's go into the question number 1 for today. What I've chosen, since America has exited the World Health Organization, there might be a probable question which they might ask on what is the impact of America's exit from WHO. So here the question is that discuss the role of WHO and the implications of America's exit. So here how do I structure my answer? Basically my introduction, I'll speak about WHO. Okay, so you can say something like that. WHO is an important agency of the United Nations and which largely works with respect to building a global coalition for upgrading people's health as well as finding epidemics and pandemics. That is one thing you can write. Or if you want to bring some kind of conceptual connect, you can say WHO symbolizes the idea of liberal institutionalism where countries work together in order to address the non-traditional security challenges such as epidemics and pandemics. This can be one or alternative introduction you can use. Then I will go into writing about what is the role. For this, I will give a subheading in my answer and write about role. And here I can write in my point format that what is the role which has been played by WHO. So one, you can say they provide technical assistance. Second, you can say they play the role of coordination among nation states as well as non-state actors such as NGOs, etc. Third, they also offer funding to various health initiatives such as TB programs, polio programs, especially in the developed world. Fourth, they're into research and development, R&D, which is very crucial for ensuring coming out with vaccines, etc. Fifth, you can also say they give recommendations to member states in order to tackle health emergencies. So this is the general role what you can write the WHO plays. Now come to the other part of the question, that the what are the implications of America's exit. So before I go into the implications, I'll write about why US exited WHO. So you can write about rise of Trump and his transactional way of conducting foreign policy. Then you can say accusation of WHO not doing enough in terms of investigation of the COVID-19, that you can write. So hence you can say America made the exit. Now we will come to the implication part. So I'm going to write about the implication part. So here implications you can write. So one, the funding will take a hit. The reason you can say America contributes almost 15% of the WHO budget, and then you can say no other country apart from US contributes more than or greater than 5%. So this you can say will weaken the notion of liberal institutionalism, and we can look towards that what the world moving towards more of a realist framework, as we can say, which is anarchical and hierarchical. Third, you can say it also impacts research and development, especially vaccine production, etc. Because it's not only US provides funds, there is also human resource which the United States of America does provide to WHO. Fourth, you can also say this will also impact with the health related NGOs which work, the American NGOs which work and coordinate with WHO. And you can also say this is going to have a greater impact on especially the health programs of developing countries, especially in Africa, the fight against Ebola, or in Asia, the fight against TB, which in turn is going to have greater impact especially on the poorer sections of third world countries. This is going to increase their out of pocket expenditure, and this can also lead to what many people dying of TB, polio, etc. Then the other implication, this can also increase China's influence in WHO, and this might lead to what lack of transparency in how WHO functions. Seventh implication, you can also write that how does it also impact the American exit. You can say the other countries might also follow the suit with respect to other organization. Whenever they feel it is not working in their interest, they might seek an exit. So then in conclusion part, you write about countries like India and BRICS countries should work together in try to increase the funding for WHO and make sure that the health programs does not get affected in at large. So this is something you can write in your conclusion. So the question was largely about what is the role of WHO, and you have to write about the implication of the America's exit from it. So this is how you would structure your answer. Now moving on to the next question, it's a 10 marker. They might ask, NAM needs to reinvent itself. So how do I break down this question? One, I will write in my introduction about NAM. You can say NAM emerged as a movement by the post-colonial societies during the times of Cold War, which was creating a third way away from communism and capitalism. Then you can say NAM, however, faced crisis, especially after disintegration of Soviet Union and emergence of a unipolar world, where people have questioned about the relevance of NAM. And you can say C. Raja Mohan in this direction. He has called what? That NAM is in coma. Or you can also bring the views of S. Jaishankar, who says NAM is a Cold War legacy. But then you can write about briefly about, however, NAM, even in the post-Cold War has a lot of role to play, has T.V. Paul and S.D. Muni have pointed out that NAM can focus more on non-traditional security threats. It can be a platform for third world countries to build South-South cooperation. It can also focus on democratization of international organizations. You can also look to achieve new international economic order and also emerging challenges such as AI and disruptive technologies. But then you last part of your answer, just write a brief paragraph saying that, however, as Suhasini Haidar says, in order to NAM to remain relevant, it has to reinvent. And you can write one, what they can do, have a new charter which reflects the reality of the present world order, have a permanent secretariat. Third, you can say countries like India should take the onus of a transformational leadership that it can play, and also NAM should create its own fund, especially where countries have to contribute, which can be utilized for health initiative or pandemic or disaster management, these areas. So hence you can say that as Prime Minister Modi remarked that NAM continues to be the moral voice of the world. So these are the points that you can bring in your answer about NAM, why NAM needs to reinvent itself. So this would how I would structure my answer, and these are the viewpoints that I would bring in my answer. I hope these two questions helped you. So again, we'll meet in the next session with two questions. So till then, as I told, remain calm. Don't worry about writing too many tests towards the end. Focus more on revision. Do a lot of brainstorming. Brainstorming is very, very essential. work on preparing introductions, conclusions, and any key ideas that you have in mind that you want to bring it in your answers. So why? Because don't forget that mains is not about just writing, it's also about thinking. I hope this session helped you. Again, we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.